Hey guys,
Hi, Jack here.
Robin. Last week, when we're editing,
Yeah.
we decided to change our bet.
Yes. Immunity.
Immunity. No, if anyone's going to play an idol.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So basically, what were our bets before going in? Just a bit of a recap. I'm pretty sure I guessed Brad was going to win immunity,
You did?
but I also said he'd be going home if
No,
he
you
didn't.
didn't. No.
If he didn't win immunity.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which would have been true.
Yeah, which means yeah. And did I say if it's not him, it would be Sierra? I don't know. If I got it
No,
right, we'd have
you
to
did not.
recap.
Micheala.
Oh, did I say Micheala?
I think so.
Can't remember. And who did you say? You said Brad was going home.
No, I picked Micheala to win immunity.
Yeah.
Which she didn't.
Yeah.
And I picked Aubrey to go home.
Okay, but Micheala actually did pretty well in immunity for the first time. I think he did pretty well.
Yeah.
But while we're editing the episode, we decided a better bet would be would Ty
play
play an idol? I said he wouldn't.
I said you would. He would.
Yeah, he would. And you were pretty adamant that you were like, "Are you sure you want to bet with this one?" And I said yes.
Yes.
I'm glad I did. So now I present to you the T-shirt of shame, and you have to wear the I Heart Debbie T-shirt. So.
Oh my god, this is disgusting.
I know.
It's terrible. Especially after the way she carried on the tribals.
I know. But yeah,
Anyway,
it's
there we
your
go.
team Debbie for this week. Does it feel dirty? Do you feel?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I'm going to have another shower.
Yeah, I know. And that's not because I wore it last week and made it really
no,
sweaty. It's just a filthy T-shirt.
I think I might need some bourbon as well, just to...
Oh, we should be drinking bourbon when we do these shows.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this episode.
Not much happened, actually.
Not much happened, but I think I said this last week. Not
Well,
much happened last week, but
actually,
maybe
no,
it's because, like I said, less people are on there for us to talk
I'm
about.
going to take issue with you with that. Any time that a player of Zeke gets voted out, that's a big episode. Now, not a lot may have happened around that, but that's still a big episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair.
And I would actually, before we start about this episode, I would like to go back to I realised I was remiss in not talking about the vote at the end of last episode.
Oh, because you do love to talk about who votes for who.
Well,
you do love that.
The reason I want to go back is because I actually made an error in saying Zeke made a mistake. And when I was thinking about the voting is when I realised that Zeke didn't actually make a mistake. He actually played it pretty perfectly.
But he got outplayed.
Yes, he got outplayed. He
Yeah.
played perfectly, but he got outplayed.
And what do you mean he didn't make a mistake?
Well,
He didn't come for Andrea sooner.
when he went up to Troyzan and Brad and said, "I want to work with you guys, but I can't tell you who the vote is.
Yeah.
But next time, we'll definitely be working together." Now, I said that it was a mistake not to take two votes with him.
Yeah, and I think even watching this episode that we just had, I had the same thought of actually you can't. He couldn't.
He
have voted
couldn't.
them.
He could not because, and once you actually look at the way the votes panned out, and this is the great thing, we're doing all this with hindsight, but Zeke was doing it
On the fly.
right, on the fly, thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And if you add it up, so Zeke starts out with the assumption, and it's a very good assumption, that himself, Andrea, Micheala, all these sorts of people, Sarah, right, would like to see to break up Brad and Culpepper in the four, because they were the dominant line, so it makes sense. Andrea,
Sarah, yeah.
so that was his game plan. He was like, well, I'm going to break that alliance, then I'm going to go after Andrea. That was his plan.
Yeah.
And if you think about that, that's the way he wanted the game to go. If you think about it from that point of view, then the votes at the end actually add up. And why he said to Brad and Troyzan adds up, because he knows if he tells them that it's Sierra going home, there's an idol coming out.
Yeah, or there's also options for them to flip his plan.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So he's done exactly the right thing. He's gone, I'm not going to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to work with you, but I'm not voting this week with you.
Yeah.
But next week we're on, right? And that's why I said that was a mistake and that was incorrect. As it was, as you pointed out, the only reason Zeke failed is because Andrea did a really good thing. She said she looked at the situation and she said, Zeke's really focused on getting Sierra out.
Yeah.
This is my time to strike.
Yeah.
And she did. And so that's why it was a really good episode for me. Sierra, Brad and Troyzan all voted Ty.
I think they just wanted to they felt they were going for Ty anyway.
It's a, well,
Or if they were going to split for an idol, we push Ty out.
And this is something that's odd in the game. You don't see it a lot. When an alliance takes a beating, as theirs just had, normally you see the members of the alliance start to vote individually.
Yeah. And
what I'd like to say is that it was a really good thing to see Brad, Troyes and Cerie stick there, try to figure out something to do. And as you've just said, that's 3 votes they made for Ty.
Yeah.
All they needed, if an idol gets played, Ty's going home. If they split the votes, Ty's going home. What I'm saying is they're still managing to be effective in the game.
They're putting their best chance of staying together in the one. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, look, because they're gonna. We know the split the vote thing. Well, who would they split? Well, if they're gonna split one of us and and Ty, we want to stick together. Let's try and put all our eggs on Ty and hope. If Ty plays an idol, they could not do anything.
Exactly.
But that was still a chance if they came in splitting the vote with one of them and Ty. They're stacking it all on Ty and Ty goes home. Yeah.
So I thought it was a very good vote. And it's a great way for a top dog alliance who's now an underdog alliance to actually behave.
To try and still keep working together.
You don't see it a lot. So after we've done all that, let's talk about this episode.
Let's talk about this episode.
Okay. Sierra was talking to Sarah on the beach about various things.
Saying I'm with you, I'm going to do everything I can,
selling
her soul.
I like what Sierra said in a one-on-one. She said, look, I felt burnt by Sarah, the way she's been voting, but I'm going to put all that aside so that I can work together with Sarah.
Yeah, I know, but I just feel like come the end of the episode, she has not read the situation clearly at all and still handed off a...
No, but
Sarah just played that perfectly.
Look, but what I would like to say though is that Sierra has the attitude you need in Survivor. It doesn't matter how burned you are by someone.
Yes.
If it's going to get you ahead in the game, put it aside and try to do the numbers.
And she put it aside legitimately. She wasn't like, I'm going to get you back.
Exactly.
Like she didn't go.
How often do you see that though? Oh, they betrayed me.
But
I'm going to get them.
But even the concept of, we're still friends. The Zeke and Andrea. Right. We'll vote for this one. I still want to get you. Whereas Sierra
was like,
water on the bridge. Done. Forget about it. That was yesterday. Let's look. I'm looking for day 39.
Great attitude. That's what you look for in a player. Anyway, but then she did make, as you've just pointed out, a huge error.
Don't. The legacy advantage. Don't. That's not.
Look. You should not tell somebody if you have a normal item. The legacy advantage
that you can pass off to someone, and that you're going to get it if I go.
This is the big
That
problem.
was ridiculous.
As soon as Sierra's told her about the legacy advantage, I was sitting there going, don't tell her that you can will it to somebody. Do not tell her that you can actually give it to another player. And then she told her, you can give it to another player. And I go, oh my God.
And I'm going to give it to you when I leave.
And I'm going to give it to you. And
time to get rid of you because I want that for myself.
And that's exactly what I thought. I thought to myself, if you tell Sarah that, she's a smart enough girl to figure out, then I need to vote you out right now.
So now she has an immunity idol. She can steal a vote. Sarah is just playing a very good game right now.
She's loaded.
She is so.
She is loaded.
Come
6. If she can make it to 6, and we're at 9.
I know.
Well, now 8. Sorry, 8 after the vote, right? If she can make it to 6 with those 2 advantages, she's
almost packing 4 aces.
I know. The only person that stacks up is Ty with 2 idols.
Yeah.
He's the only credible threat.
There's a couple of players in this episode that are packing heat. They are packing some serious heat.
Well, the other interesting thing is I know Troyes doesn't come up too much because he's in that middle ground, right? Even as part of that alliance, the underdog alliance now, people still don't talk about Troyes. They're still talking Brad and Sierra, right?
Yeah.
He's still got an idol too, right? There's no pressure on him at all to play this thing.
There is a lot of just... Right? And here's the thing, we're not getting our big-ass blindsides or our massive, heavy plays in Tribal at the moment. But we have all these players with so much stuff. We've got action-packed Tribals to come, sure.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I would like... And this is why I do think Andrew's a very good player. Andrew's pulling up... but Andrew's pulling all these numbers and pulling the votes together. Admittedly, we'll talk about her in a minute.
Yeah.
But up until now, she's done it all without any sort of advantage or either. She's just banking on numbers. Right?
Yeah, she's playing a great game, but she's playing a game out in the open.
Yeah.
This is my thing. This is why, and this is our big debate. This is our biggest debate. You're Andrea, I'm Cerie.
I think Andrea's making the plan. I think Cerie understands that Andrea makes good plans and she's going along with it. Right?
But I just still think, I think Cerie is a puppet master.
If Andrea, no, I don't think Cerie is in no way in charge of Andrea.
You don't need to be. You just need her to think that she's in charge because now she's a massive threat. And if it wasn't,
no, Andrew's making the plans. It's not Andrew's putting Cerie's plans into action.
I think they co-align with Cerie's plan. I don't think so. I think she's quite.
I think Cerie's quite. Look, I think Cerie's actually playing Sandra's game. As long as it's not me, I think that's what she's playing.
And Sandra is a two-time winner.
Yeah,
the best game to play.
Cerie hasn't won yet.
No, but I'm putting more and more. I'm stacking more of my chips in Cerie's side. Like even.
Oh no, she's still a very credible player. I'm not saying she's dumb or anything.
I reckon if anyone's getting rid of Andrea, even though they are coming for it on the other side, I think it could even be Cerie masterminding.
No, I don't think so. I think Cerie understands that sticking with Andrea for her at least until 6.
Shield. Yeah.
Until 6.
Yeah. But I reckon the one who get rid of her would be Cerie.
Once you hit 6 is when knives really start to come out. That's when you really start to turn on your code.
Because you've built up that bond. That bond needs to be broken.
It needs to be broken, right? Did the reward challenge and Brad got to take Monica off to, the barbecue. And Brad straight away, and I give him kudos. You sitting there, he's like doing the barbecue and he's talking to Monica, his wife, about it. And Monica's giving him insight. He's like, she's like, look at how angry Micheala was, right? She's ready to flip.
Yeah,
and it was
yours.
Absolutely on the money.
On the money.
On the money.
And the only reason this didn't pan out is because someone felt the need to talk to someone else about a legacy idol.
Exactly, and Sarah did a magnificent job. Brad wins immunity.
Yeah.
So that takes him out of the mix because up until then they're talking Brad.
Just before, like what I didn't mind this time with the reward, that we didn't actually see too much of the loved ones. We did see actually a really nice moment with the 4 of them going, I'm so angry I'm not on the loved ones vote.
Yeah. But anyway, so Brad wins immunity. And up until then, it seemed to be going like, well, we're going to vote Brad. He wins immunity, so now he's out of the mix. So then they all switch to Andrea. Like, when I say all, I mean Sierra, Ty, Micheala, and Troy.
I think they were already on Andrea's. They wanted Andrea from the beginning.
No, I think what it was that Ty and Micheala decided Andrea. And you notice Sierra and Troyzen came up to them on the beach in the water and basically sat down there and started talking to them and just waited for the first thing. And Micheala came out with, Andrea, she's running everything. As soon as Sierra heard that, she's going, and you saw Troyzen go, yeah, she is running everything. They've done the smart thing. They haven't come up and said who you want to vote out or anything. They've waited to see who they're annoyed with. Yeah. And then they've gone, well, maybe we should vote Andrea. And then Ty and Micheala are like, we'll vote Andrea, So it was looking like Andrea. I didn't actually want to see Andrea go. I think she's a great player.
I want to see her go.
No. What I mean is if she went, she went. But
I wanted to see her go because I feel like that was our potential to finally see Micheala start to take the game in her own hands and start to think about it strategically, which is what got her eliminated in her first season. And also one of the reasons why she was a big inclusion in Game Changers because of her potential to think about stuff. She's so hot-headed though,
I agree with you 100%. Look, in this episode, we finally start to see Micheala thinking and starting to act like a player. Yeah. Which is good to see. But, again, you've just hit the nail on the head. She's once she makes up her mind, I think it's difficult for her to change it. Yeah. And that's the problem for her. It's like, she doesn't adapt to the fluidity of the situation very well. Like, she wants it set in stone. Yeah. Like, it's us 5.
And that's how
it is. Yeah. Or 3 or whatever it is, She's not willing to adapt to the...
Yeah.
One of the things I like about this season is there are a lot of players who are willing to adapt. And a lot of players, I'm surprised, who actually feel comfortable playing outside an alliance. Yeah. A lot of, like, Cerie, Andrea, Zeke, Aubrey, Sarah. All of them are quite happy not to actually be in a big alliance.
They're in this strange alliance that...
It's an alliance of convenience.
Yeah, it's not like they're not set in stone, and they are very much individuals together with a similar cause, rather than sticking to an alliance. It is just we all have a similar interest to get further in the game.
Exactly. And
as Micheala gave us a tribal, as long as it's a we, and not a me.
Yeah. It takes a particular type of courage, I think, to be able to play that way. You must have a lot of anxiety, knowing that you're not in an alliance, but that you're playing the numbers all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas, Brad and Sierra's alliance was very solid up until the flip.
Yeah, it's still technically the three of them are pretty solid.
Oh, they are. They're still very solid.
Two of them now.
But they were complacent in that alliance, I think, somewhat. But anyway, look. So anyway, and then we get to the real point. Sarah decides, quite correctly, Sierra's going to give her a hidden, and so she goes to Micheala and says, and this is what I love. Sarah goes to Micheala and goes, she's got an immunity idol that she can play at 6. She doesn't tell her. It's a willable.
No. Sarah is playing a very, very good solo game. I think she is playing the best individual game.
For sure.
She's keeping all her cards to herself.
But she's lining other people up.
Yeah, and she's just lining them up for the slaughter.
Absolutely. And when she went to Micheala, and think about who she chose here. She's gone to Micheala, and they're all going to vote Andrea at this stage. She's gone to Micheala. She didn't go to Ty.
No.
She's gone to Micheala, and she's gone, by the way, you might not know this, but Sierra's got a hidden immunity idol.
Yeah. That bitch, we got to get rid of her.
That's right. You can
playing me like a fiddle.
Yeah, that's right. You can see that. Like, oh my god, I've been duped.
Yeah, exactly.
She got me. And
I was going to save her.
And she duped me.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Kudos to Sarah for knowing how to use that information correctly. She didn't go to the camp and go, guess what? She's got an island tell everyone.
Yeah.
She just told Micheala, and that was enough.
And that's got to be some sort of a police training, surely.
Well, if it was Debbie, it would all be down to a police training, right? But that's
or CIA training. Debbie's not just a police officer. You should know this. Debbie is a Central Intelligence Agency. She is not just standard police.
Air Force. She's parachuted behind Russian lines.
Exactly. She might have even taken out Hitler. Not quite sure.
That's hush-hush. We don't know. But yeah, Sarah's playing a brilliant game. This episode, really, it was sort of, Brad, then it was Andrew and all this. But at the end of the day, it turned out to be Sarah's episode. Sarah was the major architect of everything that happened in the
show. Yes.
She has sent Sierra home. She's got herself an advantage. She's at 6.
She's got the advantage that she snuck last episode. Now she's... I'd see... This is the problem I have with Sierra going, I'm going to give it to you. If I can't be here any longer. But I don't want you to have to give it to me. No one says that. No. You've got something you want to give to me that's going to help me in the game to get $1 million.
Sierra just was like this. Look, here's a target. Now shoot me.
Yeah, exactly. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. You don't tell anybody about a normal immunity idol. You certainly do not tell anybody that you've got an immunity idol you can give to them. Yeah,
that you want to give to them. Not that you can, but you actually, if I'm not here, you can take it.
Because the first thing that you're going to think is, so all I need to do now is make sure you're voted out next and I get it.
Perfect.
And this is Sarah's biggest problem.
Give me the $1 million.
Sarah's biggest problem was voting her out without looking like she was voting her out.
And Sierra says that she's like, I'm hoping this gets you further, but I hope you didn't vote for me. What? What were you thinking? Of course she voted for you because you're giving her a lifeline at 6.
This is the thing. She didn't just vote for it. She organised it.
I know.
She got a posse together and went...
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't going to be here. If you shut your mouth, it'd still be there.
Right. This is the thing. If Sierra had not said a thing, Andrew would be home right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Andrew would be on that jury and Sierra would still be in the game.
And still have her legacy advantage.
It was just... It goes back to something I always say. Never tell anybody about an idol. Ever.
Like, you can build bonds up without telling them stuff like that information. If you just go, look, I really want to work with you, Brad has this, or give out some other, throw someone else under
Oh
the bus
yeah, exactly.
as your leverage. That can be your leverage.
Yeah.
Don't give away your actual immunity as leverage.
Exactly.
Your secrets are your secrets, and keep
Yeah.
them your own.
And there's only one way to keep a secret.
Just
Don't tell anybody.
Or forget, if it helps, just forget you had that advantage. Just forget it.
Just forget it. It's so easy not to tell somebody, and yet people seem to think that there's this upside. Oh, but then they'll trust me. No, they won't.
No, they won't. There are other ways to build trust with people. And you know what? Probably the best way is almost take it out of the game for a second. If you can manage to get someone out of the game and have just a human discussion, as I talk all the time, it's like just building that bond that goes beyond Survivor. That's how you get trust. I really like that person. Yeah, they still want to vote you off. Well, they can try. If I get wind of it, I'll play my legacy advantage, or I'll play my idol, or I'll play my extra vote, or steal a vote.
If you actually think back to last vote when Zeke got voted out, imagine what would have happened if, and this is why I think Andrea played it so well, imagine if Ty had got wind that it was Zeke going.
Yeah.
There would have been an idol come out straight away for Zeke.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have gone, boom, I'm playing this for Zeke.
Yeah, these giving up, and that's the funny thing about, which I was thinking about last night watching the episode, when you have this game of who can you trust with the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everyone does have their hidden agendas. Everyone also has better bonds with other people on the island, or feels they have better bonds with someone on the island. So it becomes this game of Chinese whispers, whereas I say this is what we should be doing. We're all in agreement. But that temptation to tell that one other person, because I'm really close to that person, but that person is actually closer with the person we're trying to vote out. We've seen it happen a lot.
Many times.
And it's happened quite a bit this season as well. We're like talking to Cerie about something like, well, we're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Or, it just kind of happens.
Exactly.
And it's like, no. But where's the line? Where do you trust? You have to trust someone.
You have to trust somebody, but you don't have to trust them with things that are game changing.
No, you don't have to trust them that, but you do have to trust them with the vote.
Oh, you have to trust them with vote, but I think it comes down to what you said.
Yeah, Cerie trusted her plan or what was going on with the person who actually orchestrated her demise.
But as we pointed out, Sarah's plan to talk to Cerie was actually quite a good plan. She torpedoed it by telling her about the event.
Oh yeah, it was a good plan, except I think people panic.
Yeah.
It's like, trust me, and then they split out this information.
But she has a good social game with Cerie. All she needed to do was talk to Cerie.
Yeah.
And not mention the idol, and she would have been fine.
Yeah, Cerie was on her side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can work together, sure.
Trust your social game.
It's as simple as going, hey, Andrea, if she doesn't win, she's been winning, she's been up there at the very end, she's actually doing some really solid plays, she's going to be hard to beat. And that's what I do agree with you on.
Did you hear what they said? There was, when they were talking about Andrea on the beach, Sierra, Troyzan, Micheala and Ty, they were all in agreement about that. If Cerie makes it to 3, if Andrea makes it to 3, she's going to win the $1 million.
Yeah, and I do agree with you there in the sense that her game is really great. Yeah. She's not playing a bad game. I think she's playing a very good game. But I prefer a game that is you can't see. And you can see Andrea a mile away.
Well, I'm not sure you can see her a mile away, but she's definitely making sure she's got a resume.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the problem for anybody. If Andrea makes it to 3, she's got
a substantial resume.
Great chance.
And if it, for example, if Cerie and Andrea get to the final, Cerie is the follower.
Exactly. Cerie can't afford that.
Cerie has to, and I think she will. I think Cerie has her agenda, and I think, like I said, I think she's brilliant, and she's playing such a subtle game. And even though the other week, you're like, no, but it was the obvious thing to do, to play that card. Well, I think sometimes the obvious is not as brash and brazen, and actually keeps you in good favour and keeps your threat level at a set point. Her threat level isn't through the roof, whereas Andrea's going through the roof, and
well, to be honest,
and the only reason she's not there is not because Cerie was a threat, and Cerie managed to tell people Cerie was a bigger threat, only because she gets an advantage from Cerie going home. She gets another leg up.
Oh, look, Cerie
knows Andrea's a bigger threat.
Oh,
But I think she does. It's just she knows.
Bizarrely, I don't think Sarah actually considers Andrea that much of a threat.
I don't think Sarah considers many people a threat.
I don't think Sarah's concerned about anybody.
No.
On that, because she's
playing
really well.
Yeah.
She's understand.
Her name's not mentioned.
Yeah.
She's starting to pack some heat with the hidden immunities and the surprise.
She's playing right. Like, Sarah going home was down to Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a scalp she can... Like, she is building up, like, out of the last 4 votes.
And if you think about it, the week prior, it was her and Micheala that did flip to keeping Zeke. No. They didn't have to go with Andrea's call.
No.
But they did. Because, she's
well, Micheala was going to go because Cerie wanted... Cerie wanted to get Zeke gone. But, but no, look, Sarah's playing a brilliant game. It would be fabulous if in the final 3 we had Andrea and Sarah facing off. I mean, could you imagine their final speeches to the trial? Yeah. That would be just amazing.
And throwing Brad in there as well.
Well, unfortunately for Brad, winning this immunity may not actually help him in the end.
Oh,
no, it helped in this vote definitely. But I think
people, for some unknown reason, would probably raise his threat level.
Well, the problem is you've got Ty, right, who's going to sit there and go, Brad won immunity. Ty will not be able to look past that.
No, I think he can. I think he will.
I don't think so. I think
there
a
are
lot of
threats.
other players are going to be sitting there going, Brad won an immunity. Brad's a big physical threat.
Yeah, no, I just don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like the way the votes have been going, I feel like we'll get bigger threats than Brad, and it'll change again.
Well, this is the thing though. I mean, I still think Brad's a very good player because he's still
a great
big threat.
He's a big threat.
And people still aren't picking him. I mean, it only finally came up this episode.
He's a big threat, but now he's on the ropes. He's an underdog. So in this game, and like we've said, there are a lot of big targets. In this game, when you can easily get rid of Brad because now Brad has nothing left. But when you've got an Andrea who is supported by still quite a lot, Brad now becomes almost helpless. Brad becomes a vote to me. And Brad kind of, his hands are tied on this one. It's going to be hard for him to manipulate his way back into the top.
I actually think overall the correct decision was taken on the vote this time. If they had have gotten rid of Andrea, Troyzen, Brad and Sierra would have been in a great position
to balance the game out.
Well, to dominate again. And we all know who would have been going home after that, right?
Yeah.
They would have really just picked them off.
Yeah.
After. So in one sense, keeping the game alive, I think sending Sierra home was actually, for the game, the best.
And that's probably what, that's the discussion. Like, well, she's got an idol, which she can play and keep her team strong. If we need to keep our alliance at one, then that's always going to be Micheala's thing. Why don't we keep one up? Well, we're back to one up. We've got our buffer.
Yeah.
Next week, I think...
Immunity.
Who's going to win immunity? I think... Part of me wants to say Sarah.
Okay.
I'm going to say Sarah. I'm going to lock in Sarah.
Okay, I'm going with Andrea.
Andrea? Yep, cool.
I think she's had a bit of a wake-up call, and I think next episode she'll put in more. So, who's going home?
Andrea.
You reckon Andrea?
I reckon Andrea's gone.
I reckon Ty.
Nah.
I think Ty's going
home. Ty?
I think there'll be a blind side. I think Ty will go home.
I think Ty will go home.
Yeah.
I just don't see Ty as enough of a threat.
I don't think he's enough of a threat, but I get a funny feeling that next week's not going to be about a major player.
No, here's our bet. Here's our bet.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going with a massive sort of strategic. No, I'm not going to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon something huge is going to happen.
No, I don't. I think it's going to settle down. I think it's going to be a small player.
Small player? Okay, I'm going a big strategic play.
Just that Zeke. We nearly lost Andrea. And Sierra's pretty big.
Yeah. So, but still, like in the grand, who do we classify as small players?
Aubrey, Ty, Micheala. They're pretty much. Troyzen, because really he hasn't
they're
really...
floating.
They're floaters.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so any of those 4
to
go home classifies as a small player.
Yeah, that's right. Anybody else?
I'm talking big ass blindside. I'm talking Cerie orchestrating some crazy play to
Cerie,
get rid of Andrea.
Cerie won't get rid of Andrea yet.
Or to get rid of Sarah, one of those two girls.
Oh, if Cerie can pull off Sarah, that'd be just amazing.
I reckon one of those two. Or it backfires in her face and she goes home.
And that could, look, if there's anything, Sarah knows how to get around and how to talk to people in the middle item, right? If she gets wind of it, it could very well backfire.
So I'm going a big ass play next week. Go hard or go home.
Go hard or go home. I think it'll settle down. I think the episode following that will be a massive play.
All right, well, let's wait for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one bit at a time.
All right, well, that's it.
That's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next week.
Take care. Have a good one.